I have had a great experience at Elmhurst. I'm obviously involved with the volleyball program. We're like sisters. It was instant friends as soon as I came here. Every year, the seniors get to pick places where we want to go for a tournament. So we've been to California, Colorado, Boston, and it's just been a fun experience because not only do we play volleyball, we also get to do touristy types of things. I would say we're pretty close because we practice 5 days a week for 2.5 hours. We're lifting, we're doing bonding things, and we're traveling on the weekends. So you're pretty much with these girls for 3 months every single day for hours. So we're all pretty close.
It is time for the nightcap here on Blue Jay TV. Good evening, everyone. Tim Calderwood with you alongside Gina Veneer, prepping you for men's basketball action. Elmhurst will take on Illinois Wesleyan University. The Blue Jays are 7-12, 2-6 in the CCIW, while Illinois Wesleyan enters 14-5. The Titans own a 5-3 mark in the College Conference of Illinois and Wisconsin. Starting lineups are being introduced here at R.A. Faginal Hall, and so I will do the same for you. We start with the visitors from Illinois Wesleyan. At one guard, Sean Johnson, 6'1" senior out of Washington, Illinois, averaging 16.3 points a game. He's the leading scorer for the Titans. Travis Rosencrans also starts at guard, 6' senior out of Macon. He averages 6.6 points per ball game. Jordan Zimmer is a 6'5" junior out of Delavan, Illinois, averaging 13.4 points per ball game. He's the second leading scorer. The forwards for the Titans, Doug Sexauer, averaging 13.1 points per ball game out of Homer Glen, Illinois. He's a senior. And John Kashnitsky, 6'6" junior from Oak Forest, Illinois, averaging 9.2 points per ball game. Head coach of the Titans is Mr. Ron Rose in his 5th season with the Titans, 77 wins and 50 losses. For Elmhurst, Deontay Foster, a 5'11" sophomore guard out of Muskegon, Michigan, averaging 4.3 points per ball game. Looks like they're having some technical difficulties in announcing the starting lineups. Zach Boyd is a 6'3" junior out of Warrensburg, Illinois, averaging 14.4 tonight. Joe Acosta starting at forward, 6'3" senior out of Elmhurst, averaging 3.5 points per ball game. And in kind of the surprise move today for head coach Mark Scheer, 2 post players starting. Steve Crane, 6'7" junior out of Elmhurst, averaging 7.7 points per ball game. And Eric Dornfeld, a 6'7" sophomore from Geneseo, averaging 2.5 points per ball game. Gina, we saw Augustana the last time out for Elmhurst. A tough contest. The Blue Jays needed size. Illinois Wesleyan is a solid team with some height as well. And clearly that's one of the reasons why Mark Scheer is going with the bigger lineup today.
Absolutely, and it comes to no surprise that Coach Scheer is going to use a height advantage in his starting lineup. There's 7 players at 6'5" or higher that get consistent floor time out of this Illinois Wesleyan Titans team. So it's no surprise that Coach Scheer is trying to match that height that the Titans are going to bring tonight.
20 minutes up on the clock as the Blue Jays preparing to face Illinois Wesleyan, who was right in the thick of the CCIW championship hunt. Presently sitting in 3rd at 5-3. They had a big contest rained out, or snowed out, I should say, against North Central. See, that's the baseball in me coming out. I want to think spring, darn it. After putting up with 18 inches of snow, I have the right to think spring.
Yes, I can't blame you. Actually, that game giving Elmhurst kind of the opportunity 4 days off. However, no days off when you have Coach Scheer as your head coach. These guys were in the gym, snow day, through the blizzard, through it all. These guys are in the gym getting their shots, shooting around and having a, at least a 3-hour practice I know they had on Wednesday. These guys don't take any breaks. And at this point, Tim, you can talk about it all season long. There's really no room to have any breaks. They cannot afford any losses throughout the rest of the season, especially this one tonight.
Elmhurst will face a Titans team that averages over 77 points per ball game. A tough challenge for the Blue Jays here this evening as Illinois Wesleyan wins the tip and we're underway. Titans in the green uniforms. They scored a 75-55 win over Elmhurst at the Shirk Center in Bloomington on January 15th. In the left corner, Doug Sexauer will try a quick three-pointer. Strong side rebound belongs to Dornfeld. Deontay Foster looking to press ahead.
Well, we just came off broadcasting the women's game, Elmhurst versus Illinois Wesleyan, and the women's team ranked 9th in the nation. The men's team, this Illinois Wesleyan men's team, ranked 24 amongst the many Division III colleges in the nation.
Steve Crane attempts a three-pointer from the right corner, and away with it come the Titans. They'll work it in towards Sexauer, working against Dornfeld. Hook shot, rimming away, and Steve Crane cleans up the glass. Here is Zach Boyd racing ahead for the Blue Jays. Boyd is bothered. 1 minute into the contest, no score. Foster with a left-hand dribble will call out the play. Crane pops out. Now it's Dornfeld's turn. Elmhurst likes to run that kind of inside-out offensive attack. Boyd will attempt a three-pointer. It rims to the left and bounces out of bounds to the Titans. Illinois Wesleyan 5-3 in the CCIW. They trail North Central by a game. Augustana clearly in the driver's seat right now. The Vikings are now 9-0 on the season and a perfect 20-0 overall. Taking to the rack is Jordan Zimmer. This is a very experienced Illinois Wesleyan squad as well.
Absolutely. They have a lot of talent coming out of Bloomington, and of course, decent record on the road, 6-4 for their road record. And tonight the Blue Jays just hoping to compete against this team here at home.
On the road in conference play, a loss at Carthage, win at Milliken, and losses at North Park and Augustana as well. So only one road victory for the Titans. Doug Sexauer pressing ahead towards Rosenkrantz. He'll pull up and hit the 19-footer with his foot on the line. A quick 4-0 advantage for Illinois Wesleyan. One thing about this Illinois Wesleyan team, they are just now starting to get healthy. They were without Jordan Zimmer for a significant portion of time, and John Kashnitsky as well. Two starters for the Titans. Travis Rosenkrantz has also missed some time this season.
Well, through the injuries, they've definitely shown that they're a team that's tough to beat here in the CCIW conference, ranked 3rd. So even through those injuries, definitely battling and showing that they belong on the top spot.
Foster with 5 to shoot. In the right corner, no. Crane fighting for the rebound is fouled on the floor. Sean Johnson came sneaking in for Illinois Wesleyan. One of the seniors in the starting lineup for Illinois Wesleyan. They have 3 seniors starting and 6 seniors overall on this experienced squad for Ron Rose. Crane is posting and wants the basketball. He is working on Sexauer hard. Elmhurst will just work it around the arc, looking for their first points of the game. They have not scored in the opening 3 minutes of play. Crane with 13 to shoot. Outsteps Acosta high left. He'll try the left edge of the lane. Jump stop, too strong. Follows his rebound with 5 to shoot, and he's fouled on the way up.
Joe Acosta reminds me so much of, just because we're coming off that broadcast, but number 25 on the women's team, CJ Harris. They're both just fighters, and guys and girls, of course, that you want to have on your floor. Coach Shear comes to no surprise that he puts Acosta in his lineup consistently.
Joe Acosta's first free throw is good. Elmhurst 5-5 at home this year. The only win in the CCIW coming at home against North Park. They've lost to Carthage, Wheaton, and Augustana here at home. Scratch that, they've also recorded a win over Milliken. A foul is called on the rebound. Elmhurst, however, is on the board. It's 4-1. Johnson knifing through the lane, steering out towards Rosenkrantz into the right corner. Zimmer bouncing down low. Up and under move for Kashnitsky. Swatted away, but rebounded by Doug Sexauer, who drops it in, and it's a 6-1 lead for the Titans. Elmhurst has to be careful here early on. They cannot fall behind big early in the ball game. Boyd recovers and collects from 16.
Boyd doing his part to not allow the Titans to get on a run, and something that is definitely a key in controlling this team is not allowing them to get on a strong run that they tend to do against teams.
And here come the first subs of the ball game. Matt Schick for Illinois Wesleyan. Bailey Barnett, Aaron Schroeder for the Blue Jays. 16:04 to play. The foul was charged to Deontay Foster, his first of the team's second. 6-3, Illinois Wesleyan with the lead. Koshnitsky slipping a bit, still able to toss up the right-handed hook in the lane, 8-3. th meeting all-time between Elmhurst and Illinois Wesleyan. Illinois Wesleyan with a commanding 94-22 edge. Count the basket for Dornfeld underneath. Past 5 seasons belong to the Blue Jays, 6-5. Charge the foul to Doug Sexauer, his first. Ryan Connolly off the bench for Illinois Wesleyan, junior out of Springfield. The three-point play attempt for Dornfeld, rims out. So it's 8-5 in favor of the Titans. Rosenkrantz on the move. Titans are so good with the ball in their hands. Wide open is Sexauer. He'll try a three-wing left. And a foul upcoming on the rebound.
This Illinois Wesleyan team beat Carthage their last game in double overtime, showing that they can definitely play games down the stretch. And you mentioned just so good when the ball's in their hand, and they're so physically tough. They know how to run the floor. It'll be a tough battle tonight for these Blue Jays to keep up with the Titans.
Rosenkrantz bails on the first free throw. Illinois Wesleyan, 71% shooting team from the line. Rosenkrantz at 62%. Is the second lowest mark amongst regular players for Illinois Wesleyan. He hits the second, 9-5 the score. Entering for Elmhurst is James Robertson. Schroeder passing on the three, trying to get his defender Koshnitsky airborne. Back out towards Barnett. Dornfeld, shy of the paint, dribbles into the lane. Over the top of Connolly, too strong. And Sean Johnson gobbles up the rebound on the weak side of the floor. Johnson open off a screen for three, no. Have to make Johnson shoot. Otherwise, he's very good when he has an opportunity to square up. Robertson bouncing for the cutting Barnett. The ball's on the floor. Barnett looking to bounce towards Schroeder. It's on the floor still. Mark Scheer screaming for a timeout. Falling out of bounds is Johnson. And possession will stay with Elmhurst. Well, there was no jump ball called there. A jump ball would have benefited the Blue Jays because they had the arrow. And Mark Scheer wanted a timeout, to no avail either.
A lot of commotion there under the basket, and Blue Jays now an opportunity for an out-of-bounds play here, but of course Coach Scheer wanted the timeout, but just not given.
Andrew Zimnick into the contest for Illinois Wesleyan. 15 to shoot. Dornfeld, wing left, hands off for Barnett. Down to 10. Robertson pushing right with Rosenkrantz on him. Around a screen from Dornfeld. Screen and roll. Dornfeld takes to the rack. 9-7.
Nice to see the 6'7" sophomore there in Dornfeld out of Geneseo, making it obvious as to why he's in the starting lineup tonight.
Rosenkrantz short on the jumper. 2-on-2. Boyd dribbles it off his knee. There defensively is Zimmer with a steal. Ahead towards Rosenkrantz, and an intentional foul is called. Aaron Schroeder whistled for an intentional underneath the basket.
Well, that's a tough one right there. Schroeder clearly just trying to not allow any easy 2 points there, making sure nothing goes in, but now putting him at the line with an intentional foul. And of course, Illinois Wesleyan is going to have the upper hand from that foul.
2 shots and the ball for the Titans. The rule as it relates to an intentional foul is simple. You have to make an effort to go after the basketball. And I think in the case of Schroeder, since he was coming from behind, he kind of bear hugged Rosenkrantz, who will have a couple of free throws here.
Most definitely went more for the body and less for the ball. And it was clear that the intentional foul was going to be committed by Schroeder, and now Wesleyan a good opportunity here with possession.
Justin Phipps out of LaGrange, Illinois, with his first appearance of the season for Elmhurst. The referee talking about the squad here. They line up in a stack. They tried to separate them, I guess. Zimmer rolling off a screen into the right corner, missing the 17-footer. Rebound falling into the Elmhurst bench, controlled by Rosenkrantz. Illinois Wesleyan in front by 3.
Well, in about the first 7 minutes of the game, Tim, it just seems like these two teams are pure rivals. I mean, so much aggression, so much energy right off the bat between these two teams. It's nice to see the energy coming from not only the players tonight, but of course, Coach Mark Scheer.
And an offensive foul called against Illinois Wesleyan. It is the 4th against the Titans. Charge it to Matt Schick. Popping out is Phipps. And the basketball comes free. Schick picking up his dribble, bouncing back towards Rogenkrantz, who's in the middle of the Elmhurst logo. 13 minutes remaining. Zimmer picking up his dribble, cuts to the basket. Connolly running the offense with 15 to shoot. A long three-pointer from Zimmer. Off the back iron, Robertson controls. Robertson racing ahead, baseline left, he'll pull up from 15, nope. Offensive rebound though for Bailey Barnett. And wide open, streaking ahead is Schick. He's found on an outlet pass, and he'll drop in the layup. Timeout Elmhurst. 12:27 to play in the first. 12-7 Illinois Wesleyan with the lead. A full timeout for the Blue Jays, and we'll break as well. This is Blue Jay TV.
We're actually really good this year. There's 23 of us on the team, so it's quite a large team. We were close friends. A lot of the teammates lived together with other teammates. In high school, I wasn't like the most organized person because sports were just kind of like a side note in high school. Here, you have to really balance yourself. Division III, it's more academics first, softball second. So our coach really strives on the academic portion of the school. And I mean, just like yesterday, we had a game. I went to class and came late to the game instead, but the game was canceled, luckily. Like softball's really kind of taught me some organization skills, I guess.
.27 left in the first half. Tim Calderwood alongside Gina Vanier. The Blue Jays trailing by 5 at 12-7. Elmhurst has hit only 3 of their first 11 shots, and it seems like, at least early on, Gina, this is going to be a perimeter game despite the size from each of these teams. Absolutely.
We're going to see a lot of battling, I think, throughout this game, and we've kind of been able to get that sense that both of these teams are here to play tonight's game. And for Wesleyan, of course, it's a more important game, but Blue Jays still trying to stay tough in this conference, 2-6, doing their part so far.
Schroeder in the left corner. Cutting towards the bucket is Zach Boyd. Perfect offense executed for the Blue Jays. But they fail to get back. Johnson falling out of bounds, nearly travels, tried to toss it off the feet of Boyd. And Schroeder with off the screen. In for the rebound. Gonzalez backing up. 35 on him defense. Point Illinois in lead. Spin move for Sexauer. Up and in. And Robertson throws it away. Gonzalez the steal. Over to Zimmer, a long three. Nobody on him from 25 feet away.
Wow, Jordan Zimmer, the 6'5 junior out of Delavan, Illinois. He's got 13.4 points per game so far, and he just spots up. Nobody under the basket, takes the three-pointer with success.
Yes, he has range, and another timeout for the Blue Jays as Mark Scheer chatting with Elmhurst. 17-9 is the score. The three-pointer from Zimmer, the first three-pointer of the game from either side. I'm Tim Calderwood alongside Gina Veneer. Glad you're with us on this Friday night. Hope you survived Snowpocalypse, or my personal favorite, Snow MG. What did you call it?
I love it. I'm going to stick with Snow MG. That's
Snow
very
MG.
clever.
I didn't come up with it, but it was sure cool. This is a Friday night scheduled contest. Perhaps you're wondering why the Blue Jays are playing Illinois Wesleyan on a Friday night. It was not due to the weather. Kind of the story behind it is there was a late double switch in the schedule. Elmhurst was supposed to host Illinois Wesleyan on Sunday, January 16th. Well, they switched that game to Illinois Wesleyan down at the Shirk Center instead and played it on Saturday. It was to be played here in Elmhurst on Sunday due to the fact that the Blue Jays were in the process of hosting a wrestling meet on Saturday. On the floor for Elmhurst, Sean Fenley. Welcome back. Fenley has missed quite some time. In fact, he has not appeared in the CCIW this year, as taking to the basket is Foster, drawing a foul. He suffered a knee injury in the Blue Jay Classic way back in mid-December and has not seen the floor since until tonight. So perhaps he can provide Elmhurst with a little punch off of the bench.
Yeah, tough timing there for Sean Finley right before, of course, the competitive CCIW conference games start. Talking to Coach Harrigan, the assistant coach for the men's basketball team tonight before the game. Definitely happy to have him back healthy in the lineup, but a lot of kudos goes to Sean and kind of his discipline, his hard work throughout his injury. He has been working hard to get back, and of course a lot of thanks to the training at Elmhurst College. Kudos to Ann Hutchins and Matt Pasalacqua, the rehab center, but yes, torn MCL and he's back at it. Tough player.
I could throw out a reference to another torn MCL in Chicago, but we'll leave it at that. You don't get it. Suffice it to say, involving the NFL team. Falling to the floor is Gonzalez. Johnson will skip it court wide towards Kashnitsky. He'll try a three, and Foster creeps in. What was the injury suffered by the starting quarterback of the Bears? A torn MCL.
Yes.
Fenley along the baseline missed it, but follows it up with a rebound.
Well, you're a big fan of Cutler, as am I, the Bears, but him and Fenley sharing that injury.
Crane between the rings. Rotates right at the midway point of the half. 17-10 Illinois Wesleyan.
Sorry,
Foster
Tim.
open for three.
Nice.
Splash.
In my mind, I've already checked out of the football season. I couldn't care less about the weekend games
I don't blame you.
about to play, so I'm thinking purely basketball, almost looking towards spring sports and, of course, baseball and softball.
Well, yeah, because you started practice already.
Well underway.
Has Coach Brown worked it too hard yet?
Not too bad. You know, things have been kind of slow, especially with the snow days, having a few days off, and with the commencement happening this weekend, the gym's closed, so no teams are able to practice this weekend.
Three-pointer again for Zimmer, his second make from the land of three. 20-13. That kind of finishes the story that we sidetracked on about 10 times, that they were supposed to play here initially on January 16th. Thank you for not, because that was a Bears playoff home game that day. Anyway, they played in Bloomington on Saturday the 15th. Then they had this weekend to play here. And basically, as you mentioned, with mid-year commencement, the only day they could play the game was today. How about a steal for Foster, sneaking in and taking it away from Kashnitsky. Good-sized crowd on hand for the ball game this evening. Steve Crane, open three-pointer off to the left. And Johnson there for Illinois Wesleyan. So yes, this is a scheduled Friday game. Neither team will play tomorrow, which is one of the reasons why the snowed out games from earlier this week, as Ron Rose spends a 30-second timeout, could not be made up. The women for both Illinois Wesleyan and Elmhurst were snowed out on Tuesday, and those contests were moved to Wednesday to be part of a doubleheader with the men. Well, the weather again on Wednesday didn't cooperate, so they postponed those games once more, and with a Friday date at home against Illinois Wesleyan, neither of those two schools wanted to play on Thursday and have back-to-back ball games. Thus, in the case of Elmhurst, they will be playing on February 22nd, a doubleheader with the women down at Milliken, and Illinois Wesleyan will take on North Central on Valentine's Day. It's a Monday, February 14th. So those are the kind of schedule remedies to the CCIW by virtue of the winter wonderland outside. I personally would never be happy to see any white stuff again, at least for the rest of this year.
I think we got just about as much as we can handle right now, and it's just enough, I think, no more.
Did you go jumping in any snow piles?
I did. We actually, a couple friends and I went out the night of the blizzard just to bear it all and say that we were in it. It was the third, third most amount of snow that Chicago's ever seen, so we had to be a part of it, of course.
Johnson colliding with Dornfeld, an offensive foul. I would be lying if I didn't tell you that the reporter got out of me and wanted to go outside every 10, 15 minutes just to see how hard it was coming down.
Keep track, of course.
Last time I left the house was about 2 o'clock on Tuesday, and it had started to come down, and you could see it was starting to collect already and get a little slick, and I was like, boy, I'm not going anywhere for the next couple of days.
Yep.
And so opening the front door every couple of hours, heading out to check on the amount of snow, snapping some photos, shoveling out the area so we could make sure to get out the front door. Made for an interesting couple of days, to say the least.
Yeah, you got to try to avoid being too lazy, but man, it is just so easy to do when you have days off and you're almost snowed in. But
do I need to be telling this to Coach Brown?
No, not at all. Trust me. But I will tell you that this Blue Jay basketball team is definitely not lazy.
I know you're across the way. Gina was lazy. Aaron Schroeder, three-pointer. No, Rosenkrantz backs up Robertson and one-arms the rebound. Rosenkrantz in transition will hit the 16-footer. 22-13.
I'm very glad Coach Brown didn't get on the same bandwagon as Coach Shear, because talking to some of the guys in the training room, they're just saying, whether or not we have a day off of school or not, Coach Shear never takes any breaks. We'll be here tomorrow for practice.
Fenley moving with the left hand, tossing towards Schroeder. Fenley again, backing up. Former all-conference choice at Carthage. Hasn't played in a CCIW game in 2 years until tonight. Robertson misses the 18-footer and a foul on the rebound. Yes, he missed all of last year, came back in an Elmhurst uniform this year. He's an Elmhurst native, Sean Fenley is. And, well, as we mentioned, he was hurt in December and hasn't played since. 6:59 left in the half as Eric Dornfeld steps to the stripe.
Well, as I mentioned earlier, just some tidbits about the senior Sean Fenley. Just being in the gym with the softball team earlier in the week. Basketball, just because they're in season, always has priority over the gym. However, we were in there, but Coach Shear and Sean Fenley were in there. I think Sean Fenley's dad stepped in for a little bit as well, but just working him, getting him a lot of shots, a lot of repetition. You could tell it was just something that he absolutely needed and wanted to be out on the floor, getting those shots and getting prepared for his, CCIW debut tonight.
6 points for Dornfeld in the ball game, 22-15. Wide open from the top of the arc. Zimnick's three-pointer hits off the top, nailing one of the ropes hanging down to control the basket and the shot clock here at R.A. Faginal Hall. Elmhurst is in the bonus for the remainder of the half. 7 fouls against Illinois Wesleyan. Robertson, corner right on the move towards Acosta. Robertson, Acosta, Dornfeld, Foster, and Schroeder for the Blue Jays. Foster works his way around the arc. And now he'll back up with the shot clock down to 10. Dornfeld hands off to Schroeder. Top of the key, three-pointer, too strong. Cleaning up his Schick. Bouncing towards Sexauer. Sexauer backing his way in and throwing it away. Foster the steal. Foster on the move. Contact with Rosenkrantz. Kind of a little bit of a hip check. It did deny Foster the opportunity to go uncontested to the basket. However, there will be free throws upcoming, even though it wasn't in the act of shooting, because as we mentioned moments ago, it's bonus time.
Yeah, bonus time, finding Deontay Foster on the line, doing a good job. Ball just landing in the sophomore's hand there after that pass, and taking a fast break towards the basket. But of course the Titans doing a good job getting back on defense and avoiding him to get that easy two-point layup shot out.
5 points for Foster. He's 2 of 3 at the line today. Deontay Foster, a 73% shooter for the Blue Jays. Taking his time with attempt number 2. And it hits off the front iron and falls into the waiting arms of Sexauer. 22-16, Illinois Wesleyan by 6. They have led from the outset of the ball game. Zimmer crossing over, backing up. He'll try the 3 and hit. My goodness.
Yeah, that is just kudos going to that shot, just completely over the top hands. Both hands of Zach Boyd. Tall defense there, but just could not stop that three-point shot from dropping.
Zimmer into double digits with 11. He's hit 3 three-pointers. Meanwhile, Eric Dornfeld fast approaching double digits as well. He now owns 8. Rosencrantz out of control, collides with Foster, who scoops up the loose ball. 3-on-3, Foster for Robertson. Corner left, three-pointer no. Boyd taps at the rebound, and Sexauer brings it in. And now the Titans with numbers because 2 Blue Jays are on the floor underneath. Good ball rotation for Rosencrantz. He'll drive the baseline and clear out. Here's Schick, top of the key, three-pointer, nope. Zach Boyd is there with under 5 minutes to play in the half. Acosta with a left hand, bouncing for the cutting Boyd, and he's collided with Jordan Zimmer.
That'll put Boyd again, as mentioned, on the line just due to the bonus, but something to note there, the vision of Joe Acosta. He has great vision of the floor, just seeing Boyd and being able to sneak in that bounce pass to him right underneath the basket, and now finding Boyd at the line for a couple of free ones.
Zach Boyd's first free throw attempts of the contest. As his first toss is no good. Boyd on the season a 78% shooter from the line. He's third on Elmhurst, trailing James Robertson and Sean Fenley. First appearance of the day for Mike McCurdy off of the Elmhurst bench. He took to the 4:29 mark of the half. Acosta comes in and keeps the rebound alive. And now he'll move to the basket, blocked by Connolly. Well, Acosta at 6'3" plays a forward position. He met the 6'9" forward for Illinois Wesleyan.
That's a battle he's very unlikely to become successful after.
Boyd, right corner, three-pointer, no. Foul on the rebound. Justin Phipps is the shooter. Ryan Connolly with the foul for Illinois Wesleyan. And Justin Phipps looking to score points for the first time this season. The officials want to go over to the scorer's table and correct a few things here. Justin Phipps, an all-conference choice at Lyons Township High School, both his junior and senior season. Most valuable player as a sophomore, co-most valuable player as a junior. In his first appearance for the Blue Jays at the varsity level. And he hits the first free throw, the first collegiate point for Phipps. Steve Crane will return. I want to remind you that all of our broadcasts will be archived through the Elmhurst TV YouTube page. You can go back and check on any of the broadcasts this year. Second free throw bounces through. And with 4:14 to play in the half, Elmhurst down 5, 25-20.
Doing a good job so far, staying with this tough Titan team. Elmhurst sticking right in there with them, Tim.
Through the legs of Connolly. Sean Johnson just throwing his arms in the air in disbelief. I don't think Connolly was ready for the pass.
Just a little miscommunication there. And a chance now for some communication out of this Elmhurst team as Coach Mark Scheer will call a timeout.
It is a 30-second timeout for the Blue Jays, who trail by 5 at 25-20. Glad you are with us on Blue Jay TV. Gina, Elmhurst is shooting just 23% in the game so far, and yet they're only down 5.
Yeah, down 5 points. Kind of cold on the shooting, but doing a good job on defense against this Titan team. And whether or not they're just getting lucky or finding some breaks, they're sticking with this tough team.
And I think we kind of mentioned it early on. It seems like Elmhurst will be content to allow Illinois Wesleyan to try to beat them from the perimeter as long as they take away that inside game.
Absolutely. You know, put pressure on the outside shot anytime you get a chance. And Coach Shear is using big guys in the lineup to try to avoid those shots to fall.
The Blue Jays trailing by 5 with 4:03 remaining in the half. Glad you are with us here on Blue Jay TV. Illinois Wesleyan shooting 45%. They've buried 3 3-pointers in the contest. Elmhurst with 1 make from the land of 3, and they'll try another here for Sean Finley.
Hey, that is exactly why we are happy as well as the rest of the staff for the Blue Jays that Sean Finley is back and healthy for this Blue Jay team.
He kind of provides that extra scoring punch coming off of the bench, and you know, I think all season long he's kind of been respected as one of the best shooters on this team as well.
Oh, absolutely. He has such a smooth release. He is an excellent shooter. Just has so much poise in his shot and so much confidence, of course, coming after that 3-pointer. You can see it in the senior.
Zimnick answers for Illinois Wesleyan, 27-23. Phipps with a right-hand dribble towards the corner, up high for Finley. So we've seen the return of Finley and the first appearance of the season for Phipps for the Blue Jays today as Zach Boyd hits a 3-pointer himself. Consecutive threes for the Blue Jays have pulled them within a point, 27-26.
All right, Finley, then Boyd trying to get some action himself behind the 3-point line. Nice.
Screen is set for Schick, who moves up the left edge of the lane and is blocked. Phipps with a lot of the basketball. Ron Rose throwing his arms up in the air looking for the foul. Elmhurst goes for the home run ball, and Rosencrantz is there. They'll feed Schick open in the right corner for 3.
Well, something that Illinois Wesleyan does so well is, you know, kills the momentum. We talked about it earlier, but they're a team that once, you know, any moment for celebrating, they'll just kill it right away, and we just saw that clearly on that last possession.
2:15 to play in the half. McCurdy moving left, leaving for Crane along the baseline. Crane into the lane, swatted, recovers, missed. Connolly with a block and a rebound for Illinois Wesleyan. Less than 2 minutes to play in the first. 4-point edge for the visiting Titans. Schick bounces for Zimnick. Boy, as he put together a half and a timeout for Elmhurst. Wow. Mark Shear has used 4 timeouts here in the half. They do not have any 30s remaining. It is a full timeout with 1:48 to play in the first. And as such, we will break. 32-26, Illinois Wesleyan. This is Blue Jay TV.
It's tough trying to balance homework and practice, but I feel like our coaches stress academics to a point where you have to succeed. I'm actually a hometown kid. I grew up in Elmhurst. When the football team approached me, it was kind of like a lock, you know? I get to go to school in my hometown, play football. When you get to play something that you love, along with getting that education, it's priceless. Coming here, I was just surprised at how close everybody is on campus. I know pretty much everybody in terms of athletics on the campus. You will not want to leave this place come senior year. I'm going to live up this last year that I got for everything that's worth.
Thirty-two 26, Illinois Wesleyan on top. The Titans with a 5-0 run after the Blue Jays hit consecutive 3-pointers to pull within a point. Elmhurst shooting 27%. Illinois Wesleyan is at 50% in the ball game. Elmhurst down to just 2 timeouts. Mark Shear has spent 4 here in the first half, trying to manage the ball game, doing what he can to help his team stay in the contest here early. Now you got to believe he'll save those 2 timeouts for the second half. as Boyd throws it away. Nobody in particular. He was looking for Dornfeld, who was reaching out, and it was way out of his reach.
Well, tough to swallow that last possession after calling a timeout, trying to regroup and reset, and definitely needing something to fall there. Down 6 points here with just over a minute to play. They've got to make sure that they try to stop this Titan team from getting ahead too much.
What ball movement for the Titans. First it was Dortch on the move, handing off to Schick, who then drove and drew the defense in, finding the wide open bucket. As Connolly converts his first 2 points of the ball game, and with 53 seconds to play in the half, it's an 8-point edge for Illinois Wesleyan at 34-26. Dornfeld at the elbow, hands off to Robertson, down Main Street, swatted by Dortch. Rosenkrantz collects. He's on the move all the way to the basket, up and in. Travis Rosenkrantz converting, and Illinois Wesleyan with a huge finish to the half. They're now on a 9-0 run, and with the shot clock going dark, Elmhurst holds for the final opportunity of the half.
A 9-0 run leading to the advantage of 10 points now for Wesleyan ahead of the Blue Jays.
Robertson dribbles towards the corner. He'll back up. Boyd off a screen for three, spinning its way through. The half expires. Elmhurst snaps a 9-0 Illinois Wesleyan run on the Boyd three-pointer. And as we reach the break, it is a 36-29 advantage for Illinois Wesleyan. The Titans using some very good ball movement late in the half and taking advantage of a little sloppy play from the Blue Jays to convert on some easy chances, which enable them to push that lead to double digits. But Elmhurst, it appears, isn't going anywhere, and Mark Scheer will spend some time chatting with the squad.
You're absolutely right, Tim. They're not going anywhere. They've done a good job. They're only down by 7 here at the half. It's definitely seemed like a very quick pace first half. One thing to note, though, Tim, in my opinion, is just the effort. 16.3 points per game, and Elmhurst has held him to 0 points in the first half of this ball game so far tonight.
We're at the half, and we'll break. This is Blue Jay TV.
Tough trying to balance homework and practice, but I feel like our coaches stress academics to a point where you have to succeed. I'm actually a hometown kid. I grew up in Elmhurst. When the football team approached me, it was kind of like a lock, you know? I get to go to school in my hometown, play football. When you get to play something that you love, along with getting that education, it's priceless. Coming here, I was just surprised at how close everybody is on campus. I know pretty much everybody in terms of athletics on the campus. You will not want to leave this place come senior year. I'm gonna live up this last year that I got for everything it's worth.
The balance with athletics in school, it's just, with me, I did it all throughout high school, so I needed to do sports in order to stay focused. I run cross country in the fall and track in the spring. I was injured my freshman year and I just felt like so off track. It didn't feel natural. Like, I think a lot of the students coming from high school and coming to D3, it's like what they need to stay focused. I mean, if you could do it in high school, you could do it here. The bigger schools, you don't have the coach time like you do here. You can just join the team and just have fun. We actually just went to Tennessee for a spring break trip, so it was different. It was a lot of fun being able to travel. We had 2 first place finishes, so it was kind of impressive. It's nice having like that other family aside from like, you know, being at home, because you're with them all the time. Don't be afraid to go out there and try new things.
Elmhurst trailing Illinois Wesleyan 36-29. Illinois Wesleyan with a 9-0 run after Elmhurst had pulled to within 27-26. Pushed the lead to 10 points. The Blue Jays were able to get a three-pointer just before the end of the half from Zach Boyd that has accounted for the margin. 36-29 is the score on the board. And one of the biggest numbers so far, Gina, you circled it, the shooting percentage. Illinois Wesleyan at 54%. Elmhurst shooting just 29% here in the first half.
Well, it's definitely obvious that Elmhurst has got to get hot on their shooting and, of course, try to continue to stop the Wesleyan team, who is obviously doing much better than the Blue Jays. However, they are sticking with this team. The Blue Jays are with Wesleyan and, of course, controlling the, well, we can see that he's stoppable, Sean Johnson, but if they can just carry over that sort of defense and the toughness that we saw in the first half, they definitely have a chance in this game.
Couple of other numbers that stand out to me. Rebounds, Illinois Wesleyan with a 20-18 advantage, but of the 18 rebounds for Elmhurst, 9 have been on the offensive end. They've done a very good job of cleaning up the glass on the offensive side.
They have, and what's more with that is second chance opportunities here for the Blue Jays have definitely outweighed the second chance opportunities for Wesleyan. And if they can continue to take advantage of Wesleyan's mistakes, they could see success in the second half as well.
Just 5 turnovers for Elmhurst, but leading directly to 9 Illinois Wesleyan points. You would say you want to cut down on the turnovers, but you've got to be happy with 5 turnovers. However, that tells me a little bit that you need to find a way to get back in transition, which leads directly into fast break points with a 14-0 advantage for Illinois Wesleyan.
Yes, Wesleyan fast break is very strong in the first half, 14 points, and Elmhurst has 0 points on the fast break. As I mentioned before, though, their second chance opportunities, if that carries over, they can definitely stay in this game and compete.
Leaders, Illinois Wesleyan, Jordan Zimmer with 11 first half points, Travis Rosencrans 8 for Elmhurst, Zach Boyd with 10, Eric Dornfeld with a very solid 8 to lead the way. It'll be Blue Jay basketball to begin the second half as we return from the intermission here at R.A. Faginal Hall. Up next for Elmhurst, a date on Wednesday in Kenosha, Wisconsin against Carthage College.
Well, Tim, you mentioned it in just the keys, looking back on the first half and kind of taking a look at the statistics. But for me, a moment that stuck out was simply something as little as the Zach Boyd three-pointer there within 5 seconds left in the first half. Coming off with that sort of momentum may lead into this second half, and instead of being down by 10, you're down by 7.
Well, Zach Boyd tried a 3 out of the locker room as well, rimming off to the right, ripped away on the rebound, John Kushnitsky. Starters on the floor for each side as Rosencrans rims out a 3-pointer from the top of the key for Illinois Wesleyan. Sean Johnson, Travis Rosencrans, Jordan Zimmer, Doug Sexauer, and John Kushnitsky. For the Blue Jays, Deontay Foster, Zach Boyd, Joe Acosta, Steve Crane, and Eric Dornfeld. Crane above his head looking for the posting Dornfeld, who will now pop out. Down to 15 on the shot clock. Boyd with a jump stop to Foster, right edge. Shot clock is at 10. Crane in the right corner for 3. No good. And Zimmer with a rebound.
Oh, commenting, Tim, on the fact that you just mentioned the starters back in for the second half. The key for me is just to keep those big guys in the lineup. Nothing against Mike McCurdy, who we saw come in with a little under 5 minutes to play, but he saw success Coach Scheer did in the big lineup that he put out. And I think another key is just to keep them in here for the second half. Try to control that tough offense of Illinois Wesleyan.
Some more ball movement for Illinois Wesleyan leads to an easy bucket for Doug Sexauer. Steve Crane did not score in the first half for Elmhurst. 0 of 4 from the floor. He's now 0 of 3 from three-point range as well.
Both of these teams in the first half, 4 of 12 for their three-pointers, 33%. But Steve Crane not finding success. I mean, he's getting open looks now, but Titans not even taking the time to defend him.
Acosta behind the back with 5 to shoot to Crane in the right corner, and he'll make his first bucket of the game as soon as we talk about him from 19 feet.
Hey, we'll take it. Maybe they'll defend him, put a hand in the face of Steve Crane now after sinking that three-pointer.
38-31 is the score. Rosencrans tries to drive, and he's forced to back out. Kushnitsky, free throw line extended, leaning in, swish.
Just missed the block there, did Steve Crane. Boy, strong first half there by Kushnitsky, as well as Zimmer. Rosencrans, a lot of guys in this Titan team that have produced offensively.
Sean Fenley is at the scorer's table, ready to check in along with Aaron Schroeder. Crane with 15 to shoot. Back to Foster, calling out his teammates. Dornfeld will step out, set the screen. Shot clock is down to 5. Boyd with his defender airborne. Steps in, triggers the 19-footer short. It's at the feet of Rosencrantz, who takes it away. The officiating crew in the contest, Mike O'Neill, Dave Lanning, and Tom Turkis. Wide open bucket for Doug Sexauer.
Well, Dornfeld there helping out on that defense, however, leaving a Titan wide open underneath the basket, something that is a mistake that obviously now putting the Titans up by 11.
Crane moving right, bouncing for Dornfeld. Along the baseline with his back to the bucket, he'll start to move in the lane, turn around 10-footer, rimming out to the right. Boyd the rebound. Boyd senses the contact, and he will have some free throws upcoming. Elmhurst from the free throw line in the first half was only 7 of 13, 54%. Zach Boyd was 0 of 2. And this first free throw toss of the second half is good. 42-32, Illinois Wesleyan with a 10-point edge. Justin Phipps has also entered for the Blue Jays. Boyd hits the second free throw. He has a dozen. And Elmhurst trails by 9, 42-33. Schick with Fenley on him, pushes right. Out comes Rosencrantz. He leaves for Koshnitsky, spinning left of the lane. And he'll throw it away. Rosencrantz will pick it up. It's an over and back. The over and back call will give the Blue Jays the basketball.
Definitely a chance here, Tim, for the Blue Jays to kind of get something rolling. And now is definitely the time. I know that there's a lot of time left in the second half, but this is such a tough basketball team to face. Even though you're at home, you know, you've got the crowd on your side and all, but this is a tough Titan team to run with.
Schroeder in the triple threat, playing catch with Foster. Phipps cutting, nearly losing the basketball, turns around and finds the arms of Sexauer in his face. He'll clear out to Foster. Rosencrantz bites, Foster falling to the floor, tosses up the 15-footer air ball. Schick racing ahead. Rosencrantz outside the lane, knocked to the floor.
Well, surely an accidental foul there by Aaron Schroeder. Just kind of trying to avoid the pick and in the wrong place at the wrong time, committing a foul, picking up his first of the game.
15:23 to play. Illinois Wesleyan with the lead. Schick nearly throwing it away. Rosencrantz bails him out. Leaning in and finishing is Doug Sexauer. 11-point advantage for the Titans. Schroeder high above his head, starts to move, looking for Fenley. Slices through traffic. Phipps with a right-hand dribble, shot clock down to 10. Fenley towards Phipps, who wasn't ready, falling out of bounds, throws it to Schick. Schick taking all the way, bouncing towards Sexauer and back up. 11-point Illinois Wesleyan lead. Should be noted, the Blue Jays spent 4 first half timeouts. They have only 2 remaining. And they now own a 13-point lead on the Travis Rosencrantz bucket. And there is one of those 2 timeouts left for the Blue Jays. With 14:14 to play, Illinois Wesleyan leads by 13, 46-33 as we break. This is Blue Jay TV.
It's been great. great. I've been able to achieve some of my goals I've set for myself, and I guess coming to a smaller school in wrestling, I got to be able to start right away and wrestle every year so far. Coming here and be able to compete right away is great. Since coming here in wrestling, I'm a 3-time All-American. I won a national championship this year, went undefeated. 2-time conference champion, conference outstanding wrestler this year. Me and Coach Marinette are pretty close. I go in there all the time and talk to him, not just about wrestling. And since coming here, I've been able to relate closer to my team and the coaches and stuff.
Illinois Wesleyan leading by 13, 46-33. Back on this Friday night in Elmhurst. Tim Calderwood alongside Gina Vanier. And Gina, the Blue Jays just have not come out here to start the second half and been able to match the intensity of Illinois Wesleyan.
Absolutely, you're right, and we're seeing that now, and that's probably the reason for the timeout being called by Coach Scheer. Now he's only got one left here with a lot of time left in this ball game.
Mike McCurdy is in the ball game. He'll handle the point guard duties. Zach Boyd to the right edge for Robertson, who was contacted by Andrew Zimnick. Dornfeld returning for the Blue Jays. Again, a little bit of a different look for Elmhurst today. Sean Fenley has returned from injury. He had a knee injury and is back in the lineup for the first time in the CCIW schedule. Meanwhile, they've also gone with Justin Phipps, a 6'5 freshman in the post sometime today. His first appearance of the season. Acosta dribbles right, clears out with 15 to shoot. Stepping back is Dornfeld. Thought about shooting. Leaves it instead for Boyd, who starts to move with 10 on the clock. Here's Acosta, jump stop in the lane, faking right, has it blocked by Zimnick, chasing down the rebound. Johnson will lead the break, 3-on-2. Johnson for Rosenkrantz in the right corner, three-pointer off the back iron. Robertson a little out of control, could not reel in the rebound. And Illinois Wesleyan will slow it up. We will have audio for you on Wednesday evening, Carthage and Elmhurst from Kenosha. You can access the audio feed right here on Blue Jay TV. Our next video broadcast will come on Thursday, February 10th. As an offensive foul is whistled. It will not be basketball on Thursday, February 10th. That is the CCIW Wrestling Tournament. We'll carry the finals for you live on Blue Jay TV. That is next Thursday. Only one home date remaining for Elmhurst. That is against North Central on February 16th. They have road dates at Carthage on Wednesday, at North Park next Saturday, at Wheaton, and at Milliken as well. The Milliken game will be on the 22nd as a doubleheader with the women, a makeup from Wednesday's snowed out contest. Acosta in the right corner for three.
Joe Acosta, how about that?
46-36 with 12:35 to play. Rosenkrantz, high left. One dribble, picks it up. Johnson over to help. 15 on the clock. In the lane for Schick. The Titan ball movement has been so precise in the second half.
Tough to defend, really, Tim, and you're absolutely right about just the fact that it's so smooth. They move the ball so well on offense, and it's just so difficult for this Blue Jay team to be able to defend them.
Boyd backing up with 20 on the clock. Bouncing for Boyd on the right baseline. 16-footer spinning through.
Zach Boyd now with 14. The leader for the Blue Jays side of things in points totals tonight. We'd like to see a few other guys get hot, and Sean Finley on the floor now. James Robertson. Robertson had a great game the last time these two teams met. He had 14 points leading the Blue Jays. Scored 4 3-pointers too. We'd love to see number 5 get hot for the Blue Jays here with a little over 11 minutes to play.
Eric Dornfeld, very slow to get up for the Blue Jays, but he does work his way back on the offensive side. And he'll get into the act as well with a jumper. .10:55 remaining in the game. 48-40 as the Blue Jays have trimmed it to 8. Only one timeout in the bag for Elmhurst. They used 4 in the first half. Zimnick is fouled.
Well, I think just noting the fact that Coach Shear used up 4 timeouts in the first half, 20 minutes in the first half, and he's kind of spending the majority of his time to spend with his team. But, you know, in his mind, it's just kind of something that he wants to do in order to control the momentum of this Wesleyan team, knowing that they're so tough, so physically fit, able to run the floor so well. He's just trying to give his guys a break.
Schick with a left hand. Bounces for Sexauer. Back out to Kashnitsky. He'll show his range off the back iron from 17. Out of bounds off of Boyd. Kashnitsky again to Elliot Gonzalez, right corner. Here's Sexauer, forcing Boyd to commit, changing directions and dropping it in.
Well, back to 10 again. The Titans are with the lead against the Blue Jays, and Coach Shear, though, from the sidelines, just trying to get these guys fired up, cheering his guys on. Exactly what you have to do. Lots of time left in this game, only down by 10 with 10 minutes here.
Past the midway point of the second half. Fenley, top of the key, backing up, crossing over. In the lane for Foster, up and under.
Nice move there by Foster, being able to find some success under the basket. Obviously, the Blue Jays having a difficult time even getting shots off around the perimeter. The defense of the Titans, really tough to get anything rolling on offense.
Sean Johnson will return for the Titans. Johnson for Gonzalez, wing left. Backing up between the rings with Foster on him defensively. Over to Kashnitsky in front of the Titan bench.
Need to stop here.
Popping out is Zimmer. Here's Johnson with 10 to shoot. To the basket, up and in. A good job of adjusting his shot.
They're just able to find lanes and find openings, especially under the basket. We've seen a lot of times this Titan team just seeing a hole and taking it, and Elmhurst not exactly doing their part in being able to defend them.
Foster for 3 off the back iron. Off the foot of Zimmer on the rebound. Fenley with a 3 of his own.
Yeah, he'll give it a shot. Foster being able to get, though, that lucky bounce back to him and finding Finley, who's more successful behind the three-point line. Another guy with 6 points so far, but we need to see a lot more out of him tonight.
Good to see the return of Sean Fenley for the Blue Jays. Sexauer backs his way in, and he's held. .8:22 remaining. A 7-point advantage for the Titans, 52-45. Illinois Wesleyan ranked 24th in the D3Hoops.com top 25. Snapped a 2-game losing streak with their double overtime win over Carthage on Saturday. Looking for 2 in a row here on the road. Johnson will try the 16-footer off to the right. And a big rebound for Acosta. This sets up a pretty big possession for Elmhurst.
Huge possession. Good job there by Acosta to get the ball back in his team's hands. Got to do something with it here.
Schroeder was jumping, looking for the basketball. Acosta instead drives, and he's forced to adjust.
Hey, he'll do it himself, Tim, there on defense and offense. Joe Acosta. Nice to see him being very active in tonight's game.
We mentioned the importance of the possession for the Blue Jays. Well, Ron Rose certainly knows it. He takes a timeout. 7:53 to play. Elmhurst within 5. 52-47 our count. This is Blue Jay TV.
We're actually really good this year. There's 23 of us on the team, so it's quite a large team. We were close friends. A lot of the teammates lived together with other teammates. In high school, I wasn't like the most organized person because sports were just kind of like a side note in high school. Here, you have to really balance yourself. Division III, it's more academics first, softball second. So our coach really strives on the academic portion of the school. And I mean, just like yesterday, we had a game. I went to class and came late to the game instead, but the game was canceled, luckily. Like softball's really kind of taught me some organization skills, I guess.
$7:53 to play, 52-47, Illinois Wesleyan with the lead. But the Blue Jays on a little bit of a run. One of the big reasons for that, the play at both ends of the floor of Joe Acosta.
Yeah, he's done a good job, Tim, and Coach Scheer definitely going to keep him in the lineup. There's no doubt about that. A couple of big guys. Phipps, the freshman, 230-pounder, takes up a lot of space out there. Of course, Dornfeld, he's a young guy too, finding a lot of time tonight.
How about a big defensive possession for the Blue Jays? Sexauer by himself, leaves for Koshnitsky at the elbow. Phipps bit, and Koshnitsky has an easy deuce. We mentioned it more than one time, you have to stay on your feet as a defender, and Phipps went in the air, leading to the easy bucket for Koshnitsky. And now Phipps looking to make up for it on the offensive end. Finished. And a foul as Schroeder pushes Rosenkrantz from behind. $54-47. Is the third foul on Aaron Schroeder. It's 7:15 to play. Illinois Wesleyan looking for consecutive buckets. Swinging around the perimeter. Sexauer starts to move for Rosenkrantz, 20 to shoot. Pick up his dribble, off of his screen, steps Zimmer, and he buries a three-pointer. Zimmer again from bonus distance.
Well, it's clear Zimmer there, a wide open opportunity, taking major advantage of the screen set by his teammate.
4 three-pointers in the game for Zimmer, and Elmhurst will take the final timeout of the contest with 6:50 to play. And so we break. It's a 10-point lead for Illinois Wesleyan, 57-47 on Blue Jay TV.
I've had a great experience at Elmhurst. I really have. I think that the college is all about making the individual well-rounded, and I do think that I have grown up a lot since I've been at college. I've played soccer and I'm in the nursing program. Kind of everything just fell together. The team was just so nice and welcome. My freshman year we went to Brazil for preseason, and that was the coolest thing ever. So it was just our team. We stayed at this big soccer resort, and there was all these fields and all these little kids playing, and then we just had our own field, and we played against different Brazilian teams. It's been great, and I've made so many new friends. The soccer aspect, I think that I've kind of got a family there, and I just love it.
Tim Calderwood alongside Gina Vanier at R.A. Fagottle Hall, where we are back to live action. Elmhurst now trailing Illinois Wesleyan by 10 and out of timeouts. 57-47 the score. 6:38 remaining. Phipps with the ball in his right hand, looking to move around the perimeter. Robertson in the right corner. Now it's Dornfeld with his back to the bucket. Dornfeld, Boyd, Robertson, Fenley, Phipps, and Boyd for the Blue Jays, as a foul is called on the rebound. Mentioned in the first half, Elmhurst was very good at offensive rebounding. obviously one of the points of emphasis for Illinois Wesleyan at halftime because they've clamped down on the Blue Jays.
Second chance opportunities, we mentioned a high statistic for the Blue Jays in the first half, and Phipps there doing his part, proving why Coach Scheer is putting him in the lineup. A big guy underneath, able to grab a few rebounds, and now his third point in his career, in the game, all coming from the free throw line, but hey, that's okay. Still getting points on the board for him and his team.
Working off of an offensive rebound as well for Phipps, whose second attempt rattles to the right. 6:18 remaining. The lead is 9 for the Titans, 57-48.
Well, 6 minutes, little over 6 minutes, Tim, to play in this one. And is it strategic? No timeouts left for Elmhurst. We'll certainly see.
It's a good tempo to the ball game for the Blue Jays. I think if you would have told them that Illinois Wesleyan would be about 20 points below their average with 6 minutes to play, that the Blue Jays would have taken it. Beating the clock, 6 hours short.
That's interesting you said that too, Tim. Just underneath 6 minutes here in this one. Zach Boyd being able to rehandle the ball here. Robinson doing his part, all right. Good to see him get on the board, but Tim, something to note, just the fact that this team is trying to run with a team that, you know, on January 15th beat them by 20 points. And right now they're within 7 with just over 5 minutes to play.
First bucket of the game for Robertson, 57-50. To the basket is Connolly, who tosses it up and through.
Connolly taking up a lot of real estate himself, 275, junior, 6'9" is his height, out of Springfield, Illinois. Junior averaging 7.9 points per game.
Dornfeld with contact, and he will head to the line.
Connolly's 4th point on that last possession for the Titans. Let's see if the sophomore Eric Dornfeld can help out his Blue Jays now, get him within, just continue to kind of cut that margin that the Titans have put up on the board. It's sitting at 9 so far.
Dornfeld, 2 of 3 at the line today and now 3 of 4. He has 11 points for the Blue Jays, one of 2 Elmhurst players in double figures. Zach Boyd leading Elmhurst with 14. He's tied with Jordan Zimmer for game high honors. 14 for Zimmer, 12 for Sexauer, and 10 for Rosencrantz on the Titans side of things.
Well, as Steve Crane is holding out to check in right now. Ooh, big rebound there by Zach Boyd.
And Fenley for 3.
Yeah.
You bet! Sean Fenley turns it into a 4-point trip, and the Blue Jays are again within 5.
All right, Tim, we got a ball game here. Just under 5 minutes to play. Sean Fenley proving why he's healthy again. Big 3-point shot.
Sexauer, baseline left, surrounded. Phipps wanted to travel. No, they'll call him for a foul.
Phipps is going to pick up the foul there, his first. Team 5th, though, now the foul's all tied up. Foul trouble was something that Wesleyan came across in the first half. And if that type of play continues here.
Golton.
Yep.
Connolly now with 6 points for the Titans. 61-54 with 4:20 to play. Fenley, right-hand dribble for Phipps. Back to Foster. Looking for the offense to start rolling. Phipps, back to Boyd. It's down to 11. Boyd using a screen from Crane will pull up on the left edge. He'll try the 18-footer. It's off to the right. Kushnitsky rips it away, and this has been the story of the game so far. Every time the Blue Jays have gotten close, Illinois Wesleyan has come up with an answer. Can Elmhurst stop the Titans from doing it again? Schick, a behind-the-back pass towards Connolly, and defensively, Fenley was ready to knock it out of bounds.
Well, now the lead is at 7, Tim, and that time just continuing to tick away. Another challenge for the Blue Jays is just kind of watching the clock. Look, we've got no timeouts left. They've got to play this one through in hopes that they can just continually cut that score and, of course, avoid any run that Wesleyan may put up.
Boyd reaching in on Sexauer. Glad you're with us on Blue Jay TV. Again, all of our broadcasts can be watched in entirety through the Elmhurst TV YouTube page. They're archived within a day or so of the broadcast conclusion. Usually show up on the Elmhurst College website, which, by the way, if you're wondering, it is. Producer-director Glenn. ElmhurstBlueJays.com. Dun-da-da-dum.
There's the URL. To the left of me
What does that stand for?
is the director. Oh, gosh.
I have no idea.
just
I'm putting
took-
you on the spot.
I know, and you know what? I just took a class that we learned all kind of the actual definition of all the crazy acronyms that we're surrounded by, and that's one of them that I probably missed on the exam. Thanks, Tim.
I won't tell your professor.
Thanks.
Hopefully they're not watching. 62-54. Boyd down the center of the lane, collides with Koshnitsky. 2 shots upcoming. Are you going to look it up?
No.
That's cheating.
No, I'm not looking it up. I swear. I was just watching Cash Cab the other night, and one of the questions was very similar. What is the abbreviation for ISP? And I got that one right, Internet Service Provider, but come on. Uniform Resource Locator.
What?
URL, folks. Uniform Resource Locator.
Thank you, Gina.
Hey, you're welcome. What was that? Maybe within 2 minutes I was able to round up an answer. Hey, give me a little credit there.
I will give you a firm pat on the back.
Well, thank the Android-powered phone and the speed of cell phones these days.
It's at your fingertips. 62-55. As Boyd hits the free throw, we're down to 3:23 remaining. Fenley is on Schick. Now he'll use his screen, rolling right. Johnson at the free throw line. Leaves it for Rosenkrantz with 15 to shoot. Sexauer over the top of Dornfeld. No. Koshnitsky climbs over the back of Phipps on the rebound. That is the 7th against the Titans, and free throws for Justin Phipps, the freshman in his first game of the year.
Something to note, as kind of mentioned a few moments ago, foul trouble definitely coming to Illinois Wesleyan in the first half. Now they're the first team in allowing their opponent bonus here, as Phipps is going to be on the line. But if Illinois Wesleyan, Elmhurst has got to kind of focus on converting those free shots as they did in the first half.
Good job of Boyd to keep the rebound alive, tapping it out to his teammates. We've crossed under 3 minutes to play. 7-point lead for the 24th ranked Titans. Boyd wide open, long three, bingo!
Hello, Zach Boyd, 18 for him tonight, just under 3 minutes to play. And here we go, Tim. We are within 4, which forces an Illinois Wesleyan timeout because the Blue Jays are out of them.
2:38 to play, 62-58 the count as we break on Blue Jay TV.
College football 4 years is very tough, but it's also very, very rewarding. And I think this past year is just a tribute to the hard work that I put in these past 3 years, and the team did. I mean, we won the most football games since 1985. That was probably the biggest highlight of my 4 years here. We had our ups and we had our downs, and I think we just stayed together through those and persevered together. Well, my professional goal is to teach and coach. I definitely want to coach football. I got the experience from the 4 years at Elmhurst, which is going to be very beneficial for coaching experience in the future.
.238 to play. It's a 4-point game. 62-58, Illinois Wesleyan with the lead. Titans have 3 timeouts to work with, and they own the possession arrow. The next Elmhurst foul will place Illinois Wesleyan on the line. Meanwhile, the Blue Jays will have free throws the rest of the ball game as well, thanks to 7 Illinois Wesleyan fouls currently. They do not have a timeout left. Sexauer is challenged, and he is trapped and double dribbled.
Well, what was almost, Tim, a 5-second call Great defense there by the Blue Jays, but now a turnover, huge opportunity. Can't stress anymore the importance of this possession.
2:20 to play. Foster will take his time, guiding the play to his teammates. Finley off his screen, fouled, and he makes it! Oh, baby! Finley stepping to the line with an opportunity to tie the game, burying a three-pointer, his fourth make from three-point range. He has 12 points in the ball game and has returned to the floor for the Blue Jays. And he is looking to knot the score here with 2:10 to go. And he does. 62 all.
Well, that is the exact proof of the fact that Sean Finley has been working hard, even though he was under injury, and that is exactly why Coach Shear has him in his lineup.
Johnson is trapped. Less than 2 minutes to play in a tie game and an offensive foul. And the Blue Jay fans have come to life around us here at R.A. Faginal Hall. With 1:51 to play, the score is deadlocked at 62.
These fans energized. We're energized back here, and rightfully so. This Blue Jay team been fighting all game long to compete with this tough Titan team, and we're seeing it right now with under 2 minutes to play.
The student section starting to rise to their feet. 1:37 to play. Foster taking his time, backing up towards the center circle. Shot clock is down to 10. He'll bounce it for Boyd using a screen from Dornfeld. Stepping back, three-pointer no. Finley fighting for the rebound. And it is out of bounds off of Elmhurst. Scratch that, they'll call it a foul, I believe, on Sean Finley. He thought it was out of bounds off of Illinois Wesleyan, and Mark Shear is not pleased either because the seventh foul against Elmhurst will now place Illinois Wesleyan at the line with an opportunity to take the lead.
Right, that was kind of a call that, in my mind, could have gone either way. From what I saw, it just looked like a Titan hand was on it and a Blue Jay hand was on it, and both of them pushed it out, leading to the possession of Illinois Wesleyan. Well, now it's just leading to a couple of free throw opportunities here with the 1-and-1 for Wesleyan. And
the tie at 62 was the first tie of the entire game. Illinois Wesleyan roared out to begin the contest, and they retake the lead with 1:20 to play.
Well, now you kind of may wonder a little bit if Elmhurst has a timeout, if it could come to their advantage to have one here with just a little over a minute to play, but, you know, we'll see.
Foster picks up his dribble. He looks for Phipps underneath. Finley with the ball in his hand, backing up. 1 minute to play. Finley to Dornfeld, underneath, up and in, no. Rebound is tapped out to Finley, and the Blue Jays will settle it down with another offensive possession. Offensive rebounds were key in the first half for Elmhurst. Down two, Boyd to Finley for the lead, no! Schick with a rebound, he's all by himself with three Blue Jays around him, backing up, and a timeout for Illinois Wesleyan. 2 second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. 64-62 the score, Illinois Wesleyan with the lead, and a 30-second timeout. Sean Finley's three-point basket plus a free throw as he was fouled in the act tied the score at 62. The first tie of the game, Illinois Wesleyan came down and answered to take the lead. And now, Gina, with only a 2 second difference between the shot clock and the game clock, you got to start to think, how long can you wait before you need to foul here?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, right now you're going to put Wesleyan on the line after any foul and a chance to get the rebound after a miss, of course, could be very successful for the Blue Jays, but the return of Finley could also be something that we see here with 33 seconds left in the game. He could be the go-to guy. Even after that last miss, he's a guy that has confidence in his shot, and we're hoping that we can see something come out of him.
Rosenkrantz is pushed from behind by Foster.
And that's exactly kind of what we expected, Tim. Right off the bat now with 30.7 seconds left in this ball game.
Rosenkrantz just 2 of 4 at the free throw line today for Illinois Wesleyan. Of the players on the floor, Rosenkrantz and Sexauer are the ones you wanted to target as far as free throws go, and it is Rosenkrantz stepping to the line. Some big free throws here, and he has another one coming. A 3-point advantage. And again, Elmhurst is out of timeouts. They used 4 first-half timeouts to try to keep the game close. They're down by 10 at one point in the first half. Rosenkrantz hits both.
Obviously that free throw vital for Wesleyan. Now it's a 2-possession game. Got to get something off here on offense.
We have seen a 4-point play already, however. Foster backing up, taking a lot of time with 23 seconds. He'll drive, pull up in the lane, and drop it home from 8. 20.4, Boyd with a quick foul. Sean Johnson will step to the line for the Titans. He's a 78% shooter on the year. Johnson has been very quiet today. 4 points, 2 of which coming from the line. And Mark Scheer used the opportunity to gather his troops quickly, and Ron Rose is saying, hey, that's like a timeout, of which the Blue Jays didn't have any. If there's a 10th foul and 2 free throws are coming, you can do that.
Right.
But with only a 1-and-1 situation as Johnson hits the first, you need to have somebody in the lane.
And right now, just kind of tough spot for the Blue Jays. After that shot, 2-possession game and a timeout called here by Wesleyan.
And now the Titans have just 1 timeout remaining. 19 8/10. The shot clock is dark. 68-64, Illinois Wesleyan by 4. We'll have the finish when we come back on Blue Jay TV.
With athletics in school, it's just, with me, I did it all throughout high school, so I needed to do sports in order to stay focused. I run cross country in the fall and track in the spring. I was injured my freshman year and I just felt like so off track. It didn't feel natural. Like I think a lot of the students coming from high school and coming to D3, it's like what they need to stay focused. I mean, if you could do it in high school, you could do it here. The bigger schools, you don't have the coach time like you do here. You can just join the team and just have fun. We actually just went to Tennessee for a spring break trip, so it was different. It was a lot of fun being able to travel. We had 2 first-place finishes, so it was kind of impressive. It's nice having like that other family aside from like, you know, being at home because you're with them all the time. Don't be afraid to go out there and try new things.
It's a tight one in Elmhurst, 68-64 with 19.8 to play. Elmhurst is out of timeouts. Deontay Foster triggers the 14-footer. It is an air ball, but the rebound is out of bounds as Sexauer could not bring it in. 13.2 to play. Elmhurst rallied to tie the game at 62 and a 4-point play from Sean Fenley. Illinois Wesleyan, from that point on, has scored the Blue Jays 6-2. Boyd with a miss and a rebound for Sean Johnson. He's headed the other way for free throws. And some of the fans around us who have been very good throughout the course of the evening rise to their feet and start to make their way to the exits as the 5th foul is called against Deontay Foster.
Foster, a solid game tonight. He had 9 points, but more importantly, just kind of a guy that down the stretch, he proved that he belongs on the floor absolutely with that nice 2-point shot there, driving in the lane. Foster now on the bench, but a good game for the sophomore.
He finishes with 9 points. Sean Johnson hits the free throw. He now owns 7 in the ball game, including 5 at the stripe, where he is perfect this evening, and he hits the second as well. 6-point game. Robertson trudging ahead, pulling up, long 3-pointer, hits it, and he's fouled as well. Oh, baby. Count the 3-pointer for Robertson. It is the 2nd time that the Titans have fouled the Blue Jays on a 3-point make. That is a huge turn. Granted, there's only 3.9 to play. But now you make the free throw and a quick foul, and we could be talking about a heave to tie it.
Well, it's definitely at their fingertips right now, Tim. Huge shot there by Robinson.
4-point play. The second 4-point play of the game, and a hold is called as Boyd will hold Sean Johnson. And Johnson is on his way to the line.
Well, you kind of wonder there if you've given an opportunity for a steal after the inbounds, instead of committing that foul before the ball even gets onto the floor. Now with 3.9 seconds, guaranteed 2 opportunities here from the foul line. And Tim, after this shot, it could be tough for the Blue Jays to pull this one out.
On the flip side of that, though, you can't let any time tick off of the clock here.
Right, that's very true.
Johnson
No
hits them both. It's a 4-point lead, and Illinois Wesleyan will use their final timeout. Ron Rose, I can guarantee you, may have something like this to say to his team, Gina.
Let me hear
please,
it.
Please, please, do not foul him.
Don't foul. Okay,
when he's making a 3-pointer.
Yeah, that's something
Sean Fenley and James Robertson have both hit 3-pointers and been fouled, leading to 4-point plays here today.
Yeah, I mean, it was absolutely something that we saw. It was like deja vu with Fenley doing it first and Robertson following 4 points apiece. I mean, making this game, between the two of them, putting up 8 points, I mean, in a matter of seconds. So it's amazing that they were able to do that, get this game very, very tight. But Wesleyan, of course, that's the advice in the huddle right now.
Want to remind you that post-game, Gina will head down and chat with Elmhurst College head coach Mark Scheer following what is a very tight contest at this point, 72-68 with 3.9 remaining. The Blue Jays have hung around here on their home floor today, but they're going to need some help here in the closing moments to try to force OT. Both teams are now out of timeouts. Illinois Wesleyan with the possession arrow. Fenley roaming the baseline. He'll try the home run toss towards Dornfeld. It's tapped away, and the clock will sound as Illinois Wesleyan escapes. 72-68, the final score here at R.A. Faginal Hall. The Titans improved to 15-5, and the Blue Jays dropped to 7-13. But boy, what a game for the Blue Jays tonight.
Well, absolutely. Going into this game, Elmhurst knew that they were the underdog, Tim. 2-6 in the conference. Wesleyan 5-3. Now this Wesleyan team is 6-3. Obviously a big win for them in the CCIW tonight. However, the Blue Jays, I mean, we can say it all day long. They played so well against a team that's ranked 24th amongst all the Division III teams in the nation. Great job by the Blue Jays tonight.
Don't go anywhere. Final numbers in moments on Blue Jay TV.
Had a great experience at Elmhurst. I really have. I think that the college is all about making the individual well-rounded, and I do think that I have grown up a lot since I've been at college. I've played soccer and I'm in the nursing program. Kind of everything just fell together. The team was just so nice and welcome. My freshman year we went to Brazil for preseason, and that was the coolest thing ever. So it was just our team. We stayed at this big soccer resort, and there was all these fields and all these little kids playing, and then we just had our own field, and we played against different Brazilian teams. It's been great, and I've made so many new friends. The soccer aspect, I think that I've kind of got a family there, and I just love it.
I wasn't sure getting out of high school if I wanted to bowl in college, but after I graduated high school, I knew that there wasn't any way I was going to not be able to do it. So I'm glad that I came to Elmhurst because it gave me that chance. Last year was a good year, had the first winning record for the team. I really like being on the team. It brings a lot of people together, and it makes it a lot easier to meet other people. We're with each other 24/7 on the weekends when we have tournaments and like 3 days a week for practice. Some of us work out together, go to dinner together. It's nice having those close friends to always fall back on if you need something, and they're always willing to help.
Wrestling here has been great. I've been able to achieve some of my goals I've set for myself, and I guess coming to a smaller school in wrestling, I got to be able to start right away and wrestle every year so far. Coming here and be able to compete right away is great. Since coming here in wrestling, I'm a 3-time All-American. I won a national championship this year, went undefeated. 2-time conference champion, conference outstanding wrestler this year. Me and Coach Marinette are pretty close. I go in there all the time and talk to him, not just about wrestling. And since coming here, I've been able to relate closer to my team and the coaches and stuff.
The return of Sean Fenley, one of the big reasons why Elmhurst was hanging around against Illinois Wesleyan today, falling by the final score of 72-68. Our post-game coverage begins with Gina Vanier, joined by head coach Mark Shear.
Gina Vanier here down with Coach Mark Shear of the Elmhurst College men's basketball team. Mark, thank you so much for being with us here tonight. You guys battled. Great game. You have got to be so pleased with the efforts against this team that is ranked 24th in the nation.
I think we're making progress, Gina. You know, this season has been one of injuries, and then we've taken a couple steps forward and one step back. But I thought that we got some younger players in there tonight. Justin Phipps played really well. Deontay Foster, who's been starting, but even played a more major role. We have Sean Fenley back, from injury. And so it was nice to see us be competitive, 1 or 2 plays away from winning the game.
Absolutely. You mentioned Sean Finley. Talk about his return and just the fact, having him in your lineup, the success that he can bring to your team.
Well, he just extends the defense, and then all kinds of things open up inside for our post play and for Zach Boyd driving. I think you saw a totally different defensive look by Illinois Wesleyan with him on the floor as far as without him.
Excellent effort tonight. Coach, you huddled your guys in after the game. What'd you say to them?
Just that they can be proud of themselves, and I was proud of them. Yes, our goal is to win, but we're taking steps now forward to get to that point, and that they really played their hearts out.
Great game tonight, Coach. Thank you very much.
268 is the final score as Elmhurst falls by 4 at home to Illinois Wesleyan. Up next for the Blue Jays, a visit to Wisconsin to meet Carthage College on Wednesday night. Let's take a look at some of the final numbers in the ball game. Elmhurst out-rebounded by Illinois Wesleyan 33-30, but 16 of the 30 rebounds for Elmhurst occurred on the offensive end, leading to 20 second-chance points for the Blue Jays, one of the biggest reasons that they were hanging around in this contest. You heard Mark Shear talk about Sean Fenley. Off the bench with 13 points for the Blue Jays, including 4 three-pointers in his return to the lineup. Zach Boyd led all scorers with 18 points today for Elmhurst. Eric Dornfeld with 11 and a solid start for him. 4 players in double digits for Illinois Wesleyan. Jordan Zimmer with 14, Doug Sexauer 13, Travis Rosenkrantz 12, and Sean Johnson 10. For the ball game, Illinois Wesleyan shoots 57%. They finished the second half shooting 63%. In the game, Elmhurst shoots 37% from the floor. Elmhurst turned the ball over only 7 times today, a solid effort in valuing the basketball. We had 1 tie. That was at 62 all following Sean Fenley's make of a three-pointer. He was fouled in the process, hit the free throw to tie the score. Illinois Wesleyan, though, from that point on, was able to hold off the Blue Jays and recorded the 72-68 win at home. For this Friday night, thanks so much for watching. Again, it was a scheduled game, mid-year commencement here at Elmhurst over the weekend. We'll occupy the gym for the next couple of days. And as a result, we played on a scheduled Friday evening. So, for my partner, Gina Vanier, and for our entire crew here in Elmhurst, my name is Tim Calderwood from RA Faginal Hall. Thanks for watching.